You think you know, but you have no idea. This is what it's like to be homeless in London.
Well, I had problems with homelessness. I was homeless for about 8 years. From the beginning, as a 16-year-old trying to find somewhere to live, you go from grotty bedsit to grotty bedsit, or you have shared houses and people bully you. And when you're homeless, a lot of people can't relate to you. You haven't got anyone to talk to about what's happening to you, no one just to give you a reassuring hug or anything.
However, out of sight doesn't have to mean out of mind. According to Cafe Art, a social initiative that helps homeless people share their stories through the medium of art.
What we do is empower people who are affected by homelessness through art and photography in London. We hang art in cafes by homeless people, and we also have an annual photography contest with disposable cameras. They gain confidence through participating in the project, learning new skills, exhibiting their work and talking to the public about what they've done.
Cafe Art has helped me find my confidence as an artist because I entered the competition with 2 photographs and I won a prize. It hasn't stopped there, it's still ongoing. Now I go to a camera photography mentoring group with other people that have done the competition, and that's made friends, and we're all learning together now, really.
My life was pretty bad before I became homeless, but also pretty good. I had my own businesses. I worked 7 days a week, earning fairly, good money. That all fell apart. I had a massive stroke, and from that I ended up getting more illnesses, neurosyphilis, HIV, cancer. That caused me to have a massive mental breakdown. I then moved on to the streets and started living in my car, and I was in my car for 5 to 6 months. The most difficult part of being homeless for me was the loneliness. Society treating you as if you're worthless. My mental state, my health, my well-being, everything just completely collapsed and completely broke. I was sat in a park and I was doing a crystal meth overdose, and a guy stopped me as I was doing it and asked me what was wrong, why I was trying to kill myself, and he just sat there and talked to me. He gave me money, got me into a night shelter, got me some food. Not only did he change my life, he actually gave me a life. That was the turning point. So when I found out about the competition with Cafe Art and they were giving disposable cameras, I thought, well, why not? I'll give it a go. I entered the competition and was one of the winners with my shot of a homeless guy with a shopping trolley. For me, I was very lucky. Not only did I enter the competition, I made a group of friends. It changed my life. People don't realise that, a disposable camera can change someone's life. I've had work hung in New York, in Melbourne. I've got my own fashion label called Man on Bench, and I'm the founder of the One Festival of Homeless Arts. If a homeless person walked into a gallery, before he even gets a chance to talk to somebody, he'd be thrown out. Where we're not doing that. We're actually bringing homeless people into this gallery space and hanging their artwork, because it's given them social inclusion, and everyone deserves to be treated like a human being.
Cuts to local services combined with dwindling social housing mean it's increasingly difficult to accommodate priority needs homeless cases. This can leave some of society's most vulnerable without a safe place to go. Sisters Uncut are a direct action group that campaign against cuts to domestic violence services. Their slogan, "How can she leave when she has nowhere to go?" refers to the volume of women fleeing domestic violence who are unable to be rehoused. We spoke to Sarah, who fled a violent partner with her 2 young children, only to have her housing application rejected.
I became involved personally in Sisters Uncut because I'm a recent survivor of domestic violence and rape from my ex-partner. The biggest challenge has definitely got to be the emotions. Being homeless is completely pride-stripping. At times I haven't even sort of known who I was anymore. It's very, very easy to become utterly hopeless and kind of sorry. 2 women every week die from domestic violence. Over 400 women every year commit suicide after attending hospital for domestic violence related services. The system cannot cope with the volume of women that need housing.
This summer, Sisters Uncut reclaimed an empty residence on a council estate in Hackney in protest against local authorities boarding up properties that they argued could be used to house vulnerable women and children.
So we had a surveyor come in to have a look at the block who deemed the properties absolutely fine and there were no structural issues whatsoever. Hackney Council have refused to carry on maintaining these buildings and filling them. They do not want occupancy in the buildings because then it's more difficult to sell them to the developers. There are over 1,000 empty homes in Hackney currently, which they're just not housing women into. If they don't have any safe space to go, how can women escape? You're essentially trapping them in domestic violence and their lives are condemned.
After months of negotiating, Hackney Council agreed to several of Sisters Uncut's demands, which included filling all the empty council homes across the borough. Sisters Uncut have since closed the occupation, but continue to campaign for the cause.